Good evening. My name is Dan Fox. I'm the Diamond Bar City Manager. Welcome to the 2018 Diamond Bar State of the City Address presented by Mayor Ruth Lowe. I'm honored and excited to be here this evening. I've been on the job for about 9 months now, and it still feels new to me because I get to be here and participate in this first State of the City Address with all of you and our beautiful city. Before I begin, I'd like to take a moment to recognize some of the individuals that are here with us this evening. First, we'll start off with your Diamond Bar City Council, the Honorable Mayor Ruth Lowe. Mayor Pro Tem Carol Herrera. Councilmember Nancy Lyons. And Councilmember Steve Ty. Councilmember Jimmy Lynn is out of town and could not be with us this evening. I'd like to also recognize some of our city commissioners that are here with us tonight. From the Planning Commission, we have Chairperson Raymond Wolf, Vice Chair Ken Mock, Commissioner Nyla Barlas, and Commissioner Fred Malky. From the Parks and Recreation Commission, Commissioner Andrew Chow and Commissioner Tommy Orona. And your Traffic and Transportation Commission Chair, Dr. Cynthia Kwan, and Commissioner Lisa Washington. A couple of other representatives we have tonight from the Walnut Valley Water District. We have Sandy Olson, Director of Administrative Services, and Ed Hilden, First Vice President. And representing the Walnut Valley Unified School District, we have Matt Whitmer, Deputy Superintendent. And from the Los Angeles Fire Department, Letitia Pashis, our Community Services Liaison. And Los Angeles County Sheriff Department, we have representing Diamond Bar, we have Captain Al Reyes and Lieutenant Phil Marquez. I'd like to also take this opportunity to introduce some of my executive team. We have Assistant City Manager Ryan McLean, Public Works Director David Liu, Community Development Director Greg Gubman, Finance Director Diana Honeywell, Information Systems Director Ken DeForge, City Clerk Tommy Cribbins, Human Resources and Risk Manager Amy Haug, Public Information Manager Marcia Roa. And a special thanks goes out to Marcia and her team, Cecilia and JR, who worked with the mayor to put this program together for you. I hope you had an opportunity to view the displays and exhibits around the room this evening. As you'll hear from the mayor, there is a lot going on in this city. But before we begin, I want to bring Mayor Lowe up. Let me share a little bit about her. Mayor Lowe was elected to the Diamond Bar City Council in 2015. She is serving her first term as mayor, and she was Mayor Pro Tem last year. Mayor Lowe currently serves as the City Council's representative on the LA County Sanitation District 21 Board of Directors, the LA County City Selection Committee, Tres Hermanos Conservation Authority, and the Wildlife Corridor Conservation Authority. She's also an alternate representative to the Southern California Association of Governments and Take Back Our Communities Coalition. Ruth has a long history of service with the community. She's been on the Planning Commission twice and on the Parks and Recreation, where she served chair and vice chair in both roles. Ruth lives with her family in Diamond Bar since 1995. She and her husband, Rick Rogers, are actively involved in the community, most notably with the Friends of the Library and co-chairing the annual wine soiree and benefit auction. which, by the way, is coming up on Sunday the 22nd from 4 to 7, so get your tickets now. And they've been with the Friends of the Library for over 16 years. So please join me in welcoming to the stage Mayor Ruth Lowe.
Thank you, Dan, for the kind introduction. And thank you to everyone for being here. Even though Dan listed a bunch of committees that I'm on as part of being on the Diamond Bar City Council, I want you to know that I actually have a day job. So I do this like extra stuff. And in my day job, I usually get up and speak to a group of people. And in my day job, my group is about 12, 14, maximum 20 people. I get to pick who I get to talk to. And when I talk to them, they get to hear from my witnesses who tell what happened to them. They hear from my expert of the intricacies of their investigation. They get to see video of what really happened. They get to be wowed by my PowerPoint. And then in the interim, they bond through coffee and donuts in the morning, and they get together at lunch and at breaks. And by the end of the exercise, I ask them one question. They're happy to answer that. And really, they leave feeling like they're satisfied that they really did their job and they've done their community service. Likewise, tonight, I hope that all of you enjoyed our lovely refreshments back there. You got to bond with your neighbors and residents, talk to each other. I hope that you're going to like my video and my PowerPoint. But in the end, I hope that you will be feeling optimism and feeling like your evening here was well spent. All right? You ready? Yeah. All right. Let's go. Good evening, everyone. As mayor, I'm honored to present tonight's State of the City address for 2018. Now, I recognize some of you from years past, so if you're a regular at this event, you'll know that we use themes as a way of highlighting what's important for the city for that year, our big initiatives and our big projects. This year, we're going to shine the spotlight on our new Diamond Bar Strategic Plan. I'm really proud of this plan, because it's a measurable depiction of how we, as a city, will turn our goals into action as we continue to deliver the quality services and the community to prepare ourselves for our future. At this time, as promised, I'm going to share with you a nifty short video about our strategic plan. One vision, 3 goals, and 6 priorities, encompassing what we value, what we aspire to, and what steps we will take to get there. That's the essence of Diamond Bar's first strategic plan. I'm Ruth Lowe, Diamond Bar Mayor, and in the next few minutes, I will be taking you through the various elements that make up the city's strategic plan.
Celebrating our roots. The year was 1918 when a young millionaire from New York, Frederick E. Lewis, purchased 7,800 acres of rural property, embarking on a journey to fulfill his boyhood dream of owning a ranch. Within a few years, he had transformed acres of sprawling, rolling hills into one of the most respected ranches in Southern California. He named it Diamond Bar Ranch, and on it, he raised cattle, hogs, and, in the later years, purebred Arabian horses. Windmills were used throughout the area to pump water for irrigation, livestock, and other ranch operations. 25 years later, in 1943, Mr. Lewis sold the ranch to a friend, Mr. William A. Bartholomew, and he, in turn, continued to run the ranch for an additional 13 years before selling it to the Transamerica Corporation in 1956. Transamerica envisioned developing the expansive range of hills and valleys into Los Angeles County's largest master planned community. A full century has now passed since Frederick Lewis arrived with a dream and a plan. Today, Diamond Bar is home to 57,000 residents and 1,500 businesses. The city's network of roads and streets total roughly 130 miles, and there are 370 acres of parks, trails, and open space that offer opportunities for recreation, exercise, or simple enjoyment. Still, Frederick Lewis's legacy lives on, and in more than one way. The city's seal and logo, the iconic windmill, and our streetscape elements are all a nod to Mr. Lewis and his Diamond Bar Ranch. And what's more, his visionary spirit of dreaming, planning, and setting out and achieving is in many ways exemplified in how Diamond Bar addresses challenges and embraces opportunities. It's how we are building a thriving future. The path to this future, the future of our city, requires a compass to keep us focused and moving in the right direction. That compass is our city's strategic plan, and its 3 overarching goals serve as our guideposts. Responsible stewardship of public resources. It means that we will apply fiscal integrity in the allocation and management of all of our resources: personnel, financial, and infrastructure. It means that we will train, empower, and evaluate our staff, leverage partnerships, and seize grant opportunities, and use a plan and priority-driven approach to budgeting. Open, engaged, and responsive government. It means that we will share information in a timely manner and in an easy-to-understand format, in ways that are useful, convenient, and meaningful. It means that we will facilitate and encourage citizen engagement and participation so that the policies that are created and the projects, programs, and services that follow provide the greatest benefit for the common good of our community. Safe, sustainable, and healthy community. It means that we will shape and nurture an environment that is welcoming and conducive to successfully raising a family or running a business. A place where our generation, our children's generation, and future generations can live longer, healthier, and more fulfilling lives. It means investing in public safety programs and efforts where technology, collaboration, and specifically tailored strategies will yield positive results. It means keeping our roads, streets, and parks in good order so that they support safe, healthy, and active lifestyles, regardless of our age or our choice of transportation. It means maintaining and updating the appearance of our entryways, medians, and other public spaces so that there's a sense of place here that helps instill community pride. It means working to create a strong, diverse, and synergistic business environment where small, independently owned shops as well as regional and national tenants can thrive so that we can get what we need and want without leaving our city limits. That way, our sales tax base is strengthened and we can reinvest our funds back into our community. Our 3 strategic goals are all-encompassing, designed to cover all aspects of Diamond Bar's municipal government. These goals are encapsulated in 6 one-word priorities: community, livability, transparency, accountability, mobility, and service. Priorities that convey our commitment to protect and enhance our community and the quality of life we enjoy. Priorities that are reflected in the everyday services that we deliver, the projects that we pursue, and the investments that we make. The strength of Diamond Bar's strategic plan lies in its broad and flexible framework. It is purposely designed that way, so that it can be adjusted to meet new needs, challenges, or opportunities in the years ahead.
I invite you to go online and view our current strategic plan. Take a look at some of the key objectives Council and staff are currently working on to meet the goals and priorities I talked about. You can also review the quarterly updates, where we track progress. And if you have any thoughts on the strategic plan or suggestions for future objectives, please let us know by completing an online survey on the city's website, calling City Hall, or sending an email. I look forward to hearing from you. Thank you for that really great video, Marcia and your staff. That's gorgeous. When we are inspired by a vision and guided by priorities, we're able to focus our efforts where it belongs, in the community, on those of us who live here and work here in Diamond Bar. Our strategic plan currently is in its early stages. It was converted just last year from its previous form. We had a list of annual goals and objectives, and we changed that into what it is now, a forward-thinking blueprint to prioritize and deliver services over a 3-year period and beyond. Now, I'm not suggesting that our previous plan was not getting things done, because it was. However, we believe a 3-year strategic plan gives us a better way to effectuate our vision of celebrating our roots and building a thriving future. The plan includes a total of 79 action items. More than 24 of them will have been completed by June of this year, and more than 50 of the action items are already in progress and on track to be completed in the next fiscal year. I wanted to talk about all 50 of them, but I got overruled. So I'm going to just highlight some of the more significant action items. One of these is the comprehensive general plan update. You'll remember that we embarked on this plan, this multi-year plan, in 2016 in the fall, when we're just about halfway through. So far, we've identified key issues and key strategies. We've assessed conditions, trends, and opportunities, and selected a preferred land use alternative that places a land use designation on the Sprouts and Smart & Final shopping centers so that the area can support a future town center, while also applying an overlay zone on the Los Angeles County-owned golf course to protect and guide its development. This is important because if the county, sometime in the future, decides that it no longer wishes to maintain the property as a public golf course and instead wants to sell it or convert it into any number of other uses, the regulatory language in our plan ensures that we will have a say in its future development. The next phase of the update process is in the drafting of the preferred plan, and that reflects the chosen alternative and defines the planning principles and guiding policies that will form Diamond Bar's general plan. This phase will be the focus of the next General Plan Advisory Committee meeting, and that will be taking place on April 19th at 6:30 p.m. at City Hall. I encourage you, if you can, to attend that. So far, I'm really pleased to say that public interest and participation has been strong, and we hope that it remains that way, because we want the plan to reflect our collective wishes and priorities for the next 20 to 25 years. Thank you to those who've already participated. If you haven't started, it's not too late. We have a website dedicated to the general plan. It's diamondbargp.com. This site includes information about the plan's elements, details about the update process, presentations, and reports completed so far, and of course, opportunities for community input. Community engagement is important to our future, and it helps when the information is shared in a format that's easy to read and understand. One example is our financial reporting and budgeting. As you can well imagine, reporting on this subject, like accounting, is in an informative yet interesting way can be challenging. But it's important because it adds to our accountability and transparency. Every year, for more than 20 years, the Government Financial Officers Association has awarded our finance department with a Certificate of Achievement for Excellence in Financial Reporting. This certificate recognizes the report's organization, efficiency, and ease of reading. And this year, for the very first time, the association also awarded us the Distinguished Budget Presentation Award. It's like winning a beauty contest in the world of municipal budgets. If you get a chance, check out our budget on the city's website. I'm confident you'll agree that it's not only nice to look at, but it's also very easy to follow with lots of good information. Already, we're working on next year's budget to forecast and fund the projects, programs, and services that make Diamond Bar a special and safe place to call home. You know that safety is one of our biggest priorities, and I'm pleased to report that there's been a marked decline in Part 1 crimes year to date compared with the same period last year, 2017. Part 1 crimes include homicide, robbery, assault, as well as property offenses such as burglary and larceny. The decline of these crimes can be attributed to our multifaceted public safety program that includes suppression patrols, special investigations, and importantly, collaboration between the community and law enforcement. It's our goal to stay on this downward trend, but it won't be easy. You see, the recent changes to our criminal laws by the passage of Assembly Bill 109 and Propositions 47 and 57 have compounded the challenge to keep our community safe. You're probably asking, how did these laws affect our public safety? The short answer is cause and effect. The state needed to solve the problem of overcrowding in our state prisons, so inmates were shifted to local jails. Then our local jails became overcrowded, and the fix was to shorten the sentences on some of the offenses. Then we passed laws that reclassified some felony offenses to misdemeanors. These include thefts of less than $950. And most recently, we passed laws to reduce incarceration rates in favor of more effective, less costly alternatives. But unfortunately, the programs and services to reintegrate criminal offenders back to a productive life are still insufficient. All of that is part of the reason why public safety remains a challenge. There's no doubt that these reforms need to be revisited. In November, your city council officially joined Taking Back Our Communities Coalition. This group was formed only 6 months ago, and already it's 30 members strong. In this group, we will advocate and push for legislative changes to make sure law enforcement efforts are not futile, that it won't be a game of catch, release, and catch again, only to be released. In the meantime, rest assured that we are relentless in our resolve to protect our community, all of us. How? By continuing to make a significant financial investment in public safety, to fund special operations, in addition to our basic law enforcement contract. Without giving away all of our enforcement tactics, I'll share with you that we'll be using undercovers and technology. And because each of us plays an important role in local crime prevention, we're also investing in outreach and education. To that end, all last year, we hosted a series of neighborhood meetings as part of a program we call Let's Talk Public Safety. Representatives from our sheriffs and fire department joined our staff in hosting these meetings where good information was shared about emergency preparedness and protection against burglaries, thefts, and fires. The final meeting was held last month. But we're not stopping there. The city has already launched the next installment of this program. It now includes a new blog, Safety Speak, that features regular posts about a variety of public safety topics. And at the March 6th City Council meeting, we approved a special partnership with Ring to create a home security equipment grant program. Beginning next month and until supplies last, residents will be able to receive a $50 discount on one of several security devices, with the option to get an additional $30 off the purchase of 2 other products. Look for details in the upcoming issues of DB Connection, the city's website, and on our social media channels. Other new components of Let's Talk Public Safety include Coffee with a Cop, where residents can enjoy a cup of coffee while having informal conversations with local deputies, quarterly safety seminars with seniors here at the Diamond Bar Center, and regular talks with our youth about the importance of speaking up and notifying authorities if they know about or hear of someone having or even thinking about bringing a firearm or a weapon to school. We'll also continue to call on our residents and businesses to be part of our crime prevention efforts. We can't stress how important it is, how critical it is for all of us, each of us, to secure our homes and cars against crimes of opportunity, to look out for our neighbors, especially when they are away, and finally, to remain aware of our surroundings and immediately report any suspicious behavior to our Sheriff's Department. These 3 very simple to do and very effective things are effective at making our community safer. And they send a clear message that when it comes to crime, Diamond Bar is not complacent, and we will stand our ground. If you're not already part of one of the 84 active Diamond Bar neighborhood watches, I invite you to join a group, or start one if there isn't one in your area. It's one of the responsibilities that come with being a member of the community, and you'll feel good knowing that you're part of the effort in keeping our community safe. Furthering the goals of our strategic plan, we've been proactive in what we believe is a proposed 450-watt solar farm by the City of Industry at the Tres Hermanos Ranch. That's the 2,450 acres of undeveloped open space along both sides of Grand Avenue between the cities of Diamond Bar and Chino Hill. Now, if you've been keeping up with the local news surrounding the proposed project, you'll know that both our city and the City of Chino Hills filed lawsuits this past fall, challenging City of Industry's purchase of the ranch on the basis of violations of state law, including the California Environmental Quality Act, the Gift of Public Funds Act, and the Brown Act. Our City Council, Chino Hills City Council, Senator Ed Hernandez, the County of Los Angeles, and members of the media are very concerned with the way industry acquired the land for less than half of its appraised value, and the way it has pushed forward development, largely behind closed doors and without public deliberation or input. We've noticed that the media has reported on senior administration changes and other matters surrounding the City of Industry and Tres Hermanos in recent weeks, but we don't have any official information. Because of all the moving parts and lack of real information, we will continue to watch the project closely and continue to raise public awareness. There's a dedicated website on the city's website that has copies of news releases, articles, and documents that we obtained through the Public Records Act. From this page, you can also sign up to be notified of new developments when they're posted. Subscribing for free email notifications is one way to stay informed on local issues. To be sure, we all have busy lives and schedules, and it isn't always practical to attend meetings. So we're always looking for alternative ways to share information and solicit input. Currently, we live stream City Council meetings, and if you're a binge watcher, we keep an archive of past meetings online. We post regularly on Facebook and Twitter, and we maintain a city app that you can use to report concerns or issues. And of course, you can always contact City Council or staff. We also have the city website, which we renovated and relaunched at the start of this year. It's built on a mobile-friendly platform. And I'm told that means it has the ability to automatically adjust to the screen size of any device that you may have, be it a laptop, a tablet, or a smartphone. And it has many features that make staying informed and getting involved in local government easy and convenient. I'm especially excited about the expansion of our e-subscription service to include text notifications, the ability to request and track public records, and the integration of interactive maps to identify trash pickup and street sweeping days. Look, no more tickets as a result of parking on street sweeping. And to locate city parks and trails. Hopefully, the parks maps will inspire us to spend more time outdoors in a natural setting, which studies have shown is great for our physical and mental health. Well, lucky for us, Diamond Bar is home to wonderful parks and trails, and this year, our parks were made even better. We opened a new trail at Pantera Park with an ADA accessible pathway, trade structures, and scenic overlooks. You've got to go up there. The view is simply spectacular. At the South Longview Drive Neighborhood Park, we installed new playground equipment, picnic tables, and made ADA improvements. And later this spring, we'll be celebrating the grand opening of a new neighborhood park near South Point Middle School. It's all really exciting. Now, let's talk about our proactive and unrelenting approach to our community's traffic challenges. Traffic challenges, or traffic congestion, on our roads during peak hours is something that we're all very familiar with. Does that look familiar? A little bit. Our proximity to major freeways and the fact that our arterials run closely parallel to them make our roadways attractive travel routes to locals and non-locals alike. And so, over the years, we've invested in a number of infrastructure upgrades and technologies to improve our signal operation. These include battery backup systems at 53 of our key intersections to keep signals operating normally during power outages for up to 5 hours while we troubleshoot and fix the issue. We also have Bluetooth units strategically placed along our main roads to allow us to continuously evaluate traffic conditions, and more than a dozen closed-circuit cameras to monitor traffic conditions and remotely adjust signals from a dedicated traffic management center at City Hall. Our traffic signals are now limited to preset timing plans, either morning, midday, or afternoon, which don't provide a lot of flexibility to accommodate our changing traffic patterns. So tonight, I'm pleased to announce that before the end of this year, we will fulfill a long-time goal of implementing an adaptive traffic control system along our main roads, Grand Avenue, Diamond Bar Boulevard, and Golden Springs Drive. This adaptive system means that we'll have the greater flexibility with our signal timing and the ability to make adjustments based on real-time traffic conditions. It will optimize traffic flow and eliminate prolonged delays. Of course, it's not enough to take a local approach to managing traffic here in Diamond Bar. We need to think broader, because the efficiency of our roadways are inextricably tied to the efficiency of the 60 and 57 freeways that bisect our city. That's why we remain committed and determined to see two important freeway projects come to fruition: the new interchange at the 60 freeway and Lemon Avenue, and the improvements to the 5760 Confluence. The new Lemon Avenue interchange consists of a westbound on-ramp and eastbound on and off-ramp. The first two ramps will hopefully open in the next 2 weeks, and the third ramp will be opened by midsummer. As part of this project, the east on and off ramps at Brea Canyon will close permanently. The opening of the new Lemon Avenue interchange and the closing of the Brea Canyon road ramps will considerably improve traffic operations in 2 ways. How, you ask? Well, the new on and off ramps will create a more direct route for delivery trucks that use the freeway to get to and from manufacturing and warehousing businesses in the area. And closing the Brea Canyon ramp will reduce the number of heavy trucks that currently mix with cars on Golden Springs Drive and Brea Canyon Road. You've probably noticed the congestion there, which increases the potential for accidents to occur, particularly during peak traffic hours. Continuing east on the 60 freeway is the 5760 Confluence. It's a 2-mile stretch where two major freeways merge. These are freight trucks and passengers' cars. They're weaving in the area, which is unsafe, and frankly, in my view, pretty scary, and contributes to severe delays in moving goods from the ports of Los Angeles and Long Beach, and ultimately to businesses and communities. This confluence is very notorious and often makes headlines, but not in a good way. Currently, it holds the 5th spot among the most congested freight bottlenecks in the nation, and is second on the list of highest truck accident locations in all of Southern California. Completing this project is critically important to our city, and many agree. After many years of hard work, we have a long list of project partners, supporters, and advocates at the federal and state level. We give a lot of credit to these elected officials and partners for joining their voices to our cause and drumming up support and contributing or allocating funds. Because of our combined resolve and tireless dedication, the first 3 phases of this project are fully funded with a combination of local, state, and federal sources. These phases are currently in the design or construction phase. They include a new westbound Grand Avenue on-ramp and auxiliary lane on the 60 freeway, a westbound off-ramp, and auxiliary lane to Grand Avenue, and street widening improvements in the intersection of Grand Avenue and Golden Springs Drive. The other key pieces of this project involve freeway mainline improvements and bypass connectors. They're part of the last and the most costly process, valued at $205 million, and that's today's dollars. Funding for this last and important phase is pledged under Measure M, Metro's 2017 voter-approved transportation ballot measure. However, as the plan currently stands, construction won't start until 2025. That's 7 years from now. This is a delay we cannot afford. And of course, the sobering fact is that the Confluence is, as I mentioned, the 5th most congested freight bottleneck in the nation. Last year, it was ranked number 8. We jumped 3 spots, and that 3-spot jump is really frightening. That's why we continue to make regular trips to Sacramento and Washington, D.C. to advocate for support and funding. It's why we continue to search for alternative funding or programs to forward the construction timeline. In November, we worked with Caltrans, Metro, and other transportation agencies to submit this project to the United States Department of Transportation for grant funding, under consideration as part of their Infrastructure for Rebuilding America program. If our grant request is approved, the project will be awarded $65 million. And with that, we can conceivably begin in construction in about 3 years. We've also submitted a similar grant application to the State Department Commission under its Trade Corridor Enhancement Program, utilizing SB1 funds. If we're successful there, then it will bring your tax dollars back into our community. Identifying areas that require our attention and pursuing solutions without letting their scope or their scale intimidate us from pushing ahead is very much a part of Diamond Bar's DNA, as it has been from the very start, even before we became a city, when this land was just rolling hills and Diamond Bar Ranch was but a twinkle in Frederick Lewis's eye. We're proud to honor Mr. Lewis's legacy and our community's branch roots with our Streetscape Enhancement Program, which aims to build a citywide theme that identifies and beautifies our gateways and other key points in our city, creating a sense of place for our residents and making positive and memorable statements to our visitors. Our citywide street beautification program started a couple of years ago with the entry monument signs, lighting, art pieces, and plantings. They're at Grand Avenue along the intersections of Diamond Bar Boulevard and Longview Drive. This program continued with the Willow Heights housing development at Diamond Bar Boulevard and Brea Canyon Road, to the Sprouts and Anchorage Shopping Center, and this summer, it'll reach the westerly city limits on Golden Springs Drive near Calbourne Drive, and the northerly city limits between Diamond Bar Boulevard at Temple, and Grand Avenue between the 60 Freeway and Golden Springs Drive. These projects are good examples of how we leverage our resources and take advantage of opportunities, such as using grant monies and partnering with private developers to improve and beautify our city. We will continue to build Diamond Bar's identity because in addition to giving our city a unified, attractive look and building a sense of pride, street improvements also positively contribute to and support the health of our businesses and, of course, our local economy. It's really great to see how the opening of Sprouts and followed by Chipotle and Coffee Bean and Tea Leaf earlier this year and Ross only a few weeks ago have really invigorated and infused new life into that part of town. Also in the same shopping center, we look forward to the reopening of McDonald's following a complete renovation and the arrival of Habit Burger. They should break ground in April and open late this summer. With new places to dine and shop, our economic outlook is definitely improving. And while we position Diamond Bar to attract new businesses and diversify and increase the sales tax base, we're simultaneously supporting our existing businesses, particularly those businesses that are independently owned. Last fall, we created a partnership with East San Gabriel Valley chapter of SCORE, the nation's largest network of volunteer business mentors, to provide free one-on-one mentoring and workshops to our business owners and entrepreneurs. Already, many individuals have taken advantage of this new program, and we look forward to this number growing with continued promotion and word-of-mouth referrals. Another program we started in 2016 and plan to continue is the ever-popular Diamond Bar Restaurant Week. In support and celebration of all of our dining options, which, by the way, exceed 100 establishments. This dining promotion takes place in October. Last year, we had 20 restaurants participating, ranging from fine dining establishments to fast food neighborhood favorites. It's a great program for those of us who live or work in the area, as well as for the restaurant owners. We discover new places to eat that's close to home or work, and our restaurants gain new customers. It's a big win-win for everyone. Without a doubt, the state of our city is strong and moving in the right direction. We may be the youngest city in the San Gabriel Valley, but you wouldn't be able to tell it by the way our city looks and operates. And the credit belongs to each and every one of you who plays a role in preserving and enhancing the qualities that make our city a great place to live and to belong. I would like to personally thank my City Council colleagues, Mayor Pro Tem Carol Herrera, Council members Jimmy Lynn, Nancy Lyons, and Steve Ty. Thank you all for your support. We really do have a great team. And on behalf of the entire City Council, I also want to thank our incredibly talented and dedicated city staff and contract partners, led by our mayor, our new city manager, Dan Fox. They are the ones that turn our strategic plan into action, making Diamond Bar the great community that it is. Please join me in a round of applause to thank them all. I trust that you share our confidence and optimism about the state and the direction of our city. And I trust that you felt that your time this evening was well spent. Thank you all for joining us this evening, and have a good night.